So I'm not a physical fitness trainer. I'm not a wealth management expert. I'm not very good into selling as you guys are, or into services that most of you are. But all these years, last 20 plus years, my area of search and research has been on happiness. I've tried my best to crack the happiness code and to become a happy guy. And this event is how each of you can also become a happy guy while keeping on working for Epson. And some of you are consternating and saying, nahi bhai, corporate में रह के sales में, servicing में बहुत बम्बू होता है, happy कहाँ पे? कोई चिराग जलाता नहीं सलीके से, लेकिन शिकायत लेकिन सबको हवा से होती है. Right? All right. You cannot change the content of your life. I'm sure a lot of you cannot change the content of your life. People who are married, they cannot change their mother-in-law. They cannot change the boss. You cannot change the content of your life. You cannot change your working hours. But I'm very sure you can change the context of your life. So, and I'm sure each of you would agree that being unhappy is being very inefficient. And when you're happy in the heart, you're likely to be more successful at your workplaces, in your relationships, in your fitness, in everything. But people are, majority of people I meet, they are sad eyes on happy faces. They want to tell that they are happy, but they are not happy. समय का ऐसा मोड़ है, समय का ऐसा मोड़ है, रात दिन की दौड़ है, खुश रहने का समय नहीं, बस खुश दिखने की होड़ है ना? पता नहीं क्यों जीना कुछ मजबूरी सा हो गया है. पता नहीं क्यों जीना कुछ मजबूरी सा हो गया है. खुश दिखना खुश रहने से ज्यादा जरूरी सा हो गया है. Happiness is a skill. It's a skill that you can develop. Just the way communication is a skill. Yes or no? Selling is a skill. You make the world's best printers, don't you? And you sell them, and it's a skill. Perfecting a yoga posture is a skill. Balance sheet, balance karna is a skill. Same way, happiness and peace too are a skill. They are cultivable a skill. And you cannot go and buy them in the market. They need to be manufactured within. My work, it gives me a very inestimable advantage that I travel a lot and I meet so many brilliant people like you are here across Asia and India. India साल में 2-3 बार revise हो जाता है. And while I meet these brilliant people, the conversations after the event, the eavesdropping in the elevators, and emails which I receive, I get privy into their hearts, minds, and psyches, and I try to understand. And I figured out, after understanding, that there's not even 1% people who are genuinely happy. Even less than 1%. And for that 1%, I do deep dive and understand that what are their habits, insights, personality traits, principles, and processes that enable this tiny minority of 1% that they're becoming a genuinely happy guy. And how you and I can profit from these happiness outliers and reverse engineer their ways into our own lives. लखनऊ से कोई है यहाँ पे? अरे वाह, सारा इकट्ठा बैठा है. ये बहुत बड़ी समस्या है कि हम लखनऊ वाले इकट्ठे बैठेंगे. कहीं अगर हम किसी के साथ मिक्स हो गए तो हमारा जीनोम कहीं और चला गया तो फिर अरे on a serious note, तो वहाँ पे एक शायरी मैंने सुनी कि नुक्तावरों ने हमें सिखाया, नुक्तावर होते हैं एक्सपर्ट्स, नुक्तावरों ने हमें सिखाया कि आम रहो पर खास बनो, आम रहो पर खास बनो, महफिल महफिल सोहबत रखो पर दुनिया में गुमनाम रहो. ये जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस में एक स्पीसीज होती है ना कि मुझे क्रेडिट चाहिए, मैंने किया, मैं ही हूं. कभी छिपकली को देखा है छत पे? उसको लगता है छत मैंने संभाली हुई है. ऐसे सेल्स वाले जो क्रेडिट चाहते हैं, वो बड़े होकर जब पिता बनते हैं तब भी अनाउंस करते हैं ये मैंने किया. Some people, at the end of the day's work, the sales guy of Punjab will call up the sales guy of Haryana and say, इस कंपनी का साला कुछ नहीं हो सकता. Is the one? Alright. ये वही जाति हैं जो कंपनी छोड़ के जाते भी नहीं. वहीं बैठे बैठे बास मारते रहते हैं, राइट? कॉर्पोरेट की समस्या ये है कि उन फूफा जी का क्या करें जो बात बे बात पे नाराज होते रहते हैं ना. Organizations are hungry for the people, for the performers who are selfless, who are low on ego but high on EQ, who are team players, who are enthusiastic. And one very important thing, enthusiasm should not go from each of your salespeople, services people. A salesman or a service guy minus enthusiasm is worse than a clerk, with due respect to the profession of clerks. You cannot look wounded. What is 100 multiplied by 0, ma'am? What is 1 lakh multiplied by 0? What is 1 million multiplied by 0? Even if your company makes the best printers, the best products, but people don't have enthusiasm, multiplied by 0 is 0 only. You should look lively. When you go to the market, when you meet each other, when you meet your stakeholders, you should look electric. That contagion thing should be there. Man, your perception of an absent guy should be very different from any other organization. He is electric, man. People still buy from a point of emotional connect, don't they? I'll share. My son, when he was in class 7, his favorite subject turned out to be history. Of all the subjects, damn out. History. And I was very curious. How come history? Then I went for the parents-teacher meet and I found the teacher to be having an excellent sense of humor and pretty. My own interest in history arose. Prove to me that people still buy from a point of emotional connect. You're having amazing product. Epson makes the best printers, yes or no? But what about how contagious, enthusiastic, and lively and electric are you when you go to the market and talk about it? Do you just tell the product descriptions? Sir, very good printers, sir, less ink consumption, sir, very good technology, electricity comes, sir, this ESG friendly, sir, le lo, sir, wo le lega. Choice तुम्हें हारी है, तुमने क्या देना है? You need to learn the art of storytelling, learn the art of voice modulation, learn the art of selling with passion. Are you with me? Learn the art of saying things in a way that people buy from you. Forget about customers. Even your customers to each other. It is not the duty of the customer to remember you. It is your obligation and responsibility that even after 10 years, you don't give him a chance to forget you. He comes back to you only. And people talk of pressures in the workplaces. Sachin was asked, Sachin, how do you feel when you go to the stadium when people are saying, mere saath bolo, Sachin, 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 Sachin. Now, anyone would feel a little bewildered and overwhelmed, in the beginning, and when people are chanting, the entire stadium is saying Sachin, Sachin, and even on the TV, people are sending vibes like that. People asked him, Sachin, how do you feel? He says, the more people shout, the more I want to perform. The more is the pressure, the more I perform. And he performed. Kohli, the best chaser in the world, performs the best against Pakistan because the pressure is tremendous out there. So you as salespeople, service people, do you just meet the target or overachieve the targets when the pressure is more? Choice is yours. Because after doing 1,000, 1,200 plus events across Asia with sales organizations, I can tell you for sure, organizations are hungry for those salespeople who work the best when under pressure. The choice is yours, yaar. One life. When at workplace, be the best that you can be. Not an average, mediocre, pale version. Upskill and reskill yourself. Even your mobile phones, your laptops require an upgradation and yes or no? So how can you just carry on in your careers at this organization with the same skill without upskilling and reskilling yourself? Learn those skills which will take you to the next level. Same skill, same result. You don't upgrade, you're just being cute. And one way I measure a person's success out here is how faster you let younger people reach the place where you reached in a lesser time. Help the youngsters reach out fast, yeah? Build a culture which is amazingly fantastic. The culture is very important. My father, he was a wonderful doctor, but he used to bite his nails. That didn't stop there. Look at my nails. I also chew my nails. But the problem doesn't stop here. I've got an 18-year-old boy at home. What do we learn from this? Learn that you are nothing, sir, but a mixture of 4 or 5 bosses who you reported to. Yes or no? We soak in what our bosses did to us. So you as leaders out here, you need to have filters for the wrong stuff and let only the right stuff percolate down. Otherwise, वो relay race बनती रहेगी, culture खराब होता रहेगा. Let only the right thing go down, trickle down. Then only you can build a beautiful, wonderful, fantastic Epson. If you don't have a filter, it will not happen. A father and a daughter were going through a jungle. And the father finds that on the walking trail, there's a huge tree branch which has fallen down. And they cannot move without removing, and there are a lot of people coming from the village, and they need to remove that branch. So the daughter looks at the father and says, Dad, if you think I can move this branch on my own? And for all those people who have daughters back home, they would know that for them, father is a superman, yes or no? Right. So the father says, Beta, yes, you can move this branch if you use all your strength. So the daughter with those skinny legs, shrunken arms, emaciated profile, she puts all her effort, valiant effort into moving that branch and says, ooh, but the tree branch, of course, won't budge. It's too huge. She looks at the father and says, Dad, you were lying. I could not move this branch. He says, use all your effort, all your strength. You didn't use all your strength. She says, I did. She says, try again. She again says, ooh, but she cannot move the branch. This time she says, Papa, you are definitely lying. I used all my strength. Dad says, you did not. You did not ask me for my help. Your real strength at Epson here doesn't lie in independence, but in interdependence. No single person has all the skill set, all the wisdom, all the abilities for the complete blossoming of their vision. To ask for help when you don't know is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of strength. Right? So be the best that you can be at your workplace, boss. One life. How can you be afford to be mentally pregnant when in the office? And still a lot of people, when they come to offices, they walk in like vertical coffins. बोलो जब पता है कि ये काम करना है, करना ही पड़ेगा, तो क्यों ना खुश होके करें? A happy after work life. Just look at it, you spend 9-10 hours, 5 days a week into your office, but you're spending almost 14-15 hours, 7 days a week at your home. The weighted average is more where? At home. Office में आके तो बड़े 30 मार खान बनते हो, उस्ताद ज्ञान पेलते हो, घर संभाला? How imaginative, how creative, and how brilliant you are to have a brilliant after-work life. Can you make your home a basically, speak after me, boliye. My home, a little louder. My home should be the antidote of my stress and not the cause of it. Can I be smart enough to create the milieu, the environment at home, which supports a happy guy life? And one definite way to do it, I figured out, is to stop controlling the people in your family. Just let them be. One day I realized that my mom, my children, I'm blessed with 2 kids, 1 wife, few of my friends, they were doing the best that they can. So I started believing in them. That gave me the time and nerve energy to believe in myself more. I loosened my grip. I stopped controlling them as much as I was doing a few years back. Because when you're in your profession shows up. If you're in the sales job, you're likely to call up home in the afternoon and talk to your spouse as if you're doing a follow-up. कितना हुआ? Courier आया, बच्चों को बोलो और पढ़ें, जोर लगाएं. भाई घर है. It's imperative if you want to become a happy guy that you be at peace with your immediate relations, with those whom you spend 365 days of the year. Yes or no? चाहे कोई भी है. Right? Are you imaginative enough, creative enough to do that? It's a question you need to ask yourself. You might say people at the home won't change. Some people are not good. I married wrong. What can I do? My husband is useless. Let me tell you a story. A husband once has a suspicion. He has a suspicion that my wife is a little hard on hearing. She doesn't hear really finely well. So he said, instead of confronting her directly, and asking her to come for an audiometry test to an ENT specialist, let me go to a doctor first and ask him, am I right in understanding that she's hard on hearing? How do I test it out? So he goes to an ENT specialist and asks the doctor, sir, how do I do it? So the ENT specialist says, do this test at home before you bring her to me. He says, what kind of a test? He explains the test to him. So he goes back home and stands 40 feet away from his wife and says, honey, खाने में क्या बना है? No reply. 30 feet. Honey, खाने में क्या बना है? No reply. 20 feet, no reply. 10 feet, no reply. And then he goes at her back like a Titanic, whispers in her ear, honey, आज खाने में क्या बना है? वो कहती है, 5वीं बार बोल रही हूँ दाल चावल. Sometimes we are looking to heal in others the problems that are actually ours. Are you getting? And this is also applicable to your bosses. Because in my 20 years of career, I have figured out that there's only 0.01% people who find their bosses intelligent and capable. So the problem could be you, not your boss. Are you with me? Because it's in human nature not to listen from anyone, yeah? It's human nature, yes or no? एक तो ना यार special request to bosses here. How many people sitting here have people reporting to them? पूरा हाथ खड़ा करो. No. Special request to all the bosses to whom people report. यार कंपनी में आके ना ज्ञान कम पिला करो. पकड़ पकड़ के बुलाते हैं, मेरी स्टोरी सुनो. घर पे कोई नहीं सुनता. कभी कभी यूं भी हमने अपने दिल को बहलाया है. कभी कभी यूं भी हमने अपने दिल को बहलाया है. जिन बातों को खुद नहीं समझे उन्हें जूनियर्स को समझाया है. For all the men here, भाई लोग अब इतना तो क्लियर है कि भाभी चेंज तो नहीं होगी अब. Some are optimistic that in the new financial year we'll go for a new product. Environmentally sustainable भाभी, ऐसा कुछ तो नहीं है, राइट? ना जब चेंज ही नहीं होगी तो गालिब साहब ने कहा है कि जिससे मोहब्बत की जाए उससे मुकाबला क्यों करें यार. मतलब burn the ego yaar. And my research says that, and it's a very long research done by Harvard Business School also, and the summary is that you can love your own wife. Becoming a happy guy is a self-responsibility. No one else can do it for you or fulfill it for you. People who can't control their own lives, they try to control their wives or their spouses. And it's selfish, yes or no? Will Smith, he said he was usually popular about that, about wife, very nice. So he said something very beautiful. I was reading about his article that why did he do what he did. He said something very beautiful, very profound. He said, my wife's happiness is her own responsibility. My happiness is my own responsibility. And together when we meet, we create a larger happiness. To give someone else the responsibility to make you happy is being mean or selfish. Take that. सफल रिश्तों का बस यही एक असूल है, वो सब बातें भूलिए जो सारी फिजूल है. जिक क्यों करनी है? One life. And COVID has proven it's a very small life, like that of a jugnu, firefly. Is it an imperative that we put a superlative effort to become a happy guy? वो बेहतर दिनों की आस में ये बेहतरीन दिन मत गवाइए. Don't wait for the right time and waste the right time, which is the right time now. How can you become a happy guy? Yeah? If your default mechanism is mobile phone, you can't be that uncreative. This is not poverty, but bankruptcy of imagination. Speak after me. बोलिए. At home. Once more. At home. I will do nothing when nothing needs to be done. Yeah. Because the degree of presence when with the kids, when with the family needs to really go up. Not on the mobile phone, checking the IPL scores or doing something else, XYZ. How can you become a happy guy? Do nothing when nothing needs to be done. Imagine how beautiful your life will be if you were not to remain anxious all the time. At home and even in the workplace. Switch it off, baby. Because office में भी घर आके भी ठुच इतना टिंडर करोगे तो टेंडर हो जाओगे. No. I'm in Bengaluru, I know what I'm saying. Imagine if my son wrote his class 12 boards, if CBSE were to have bowdlerized or cut 80% syllabus, he would have topped. Same is the case with you. If you cut out the unnecessaries, you will top the life as a happy guy. वो काम ही क्यों करना जिसको करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. There's something called as ROI. How many finance guys here? Yeah. Return on investment. There's a better term called as ROLE, return on life employed. Right? You कितना एफर्ट मारते हो यार वो बिग बास्केट पे 25 रुपए का कूपन लगाने के लिए. और जिंदगी की बड़ी पिक्चर को मिस कर रहे हो. जब हम 30 के होते हैं ना, 30 के, कितने के, उसके बाद कोई आपसे अगर पूछे ना हाउ आर यू, तो उस सवाल का सिर्फ एक ही सही जवाब है, मैं थका हुआ हूं. Only the degree varies. When the boss comes, suddenly you get into the Shilajit zone. Yes sir, what to do? फोड़ देंगे सर, अगले फाइनेंशियल ईयर में तो फाड़ देंगे सर, लेकिन उसके बाद मैं थका. If you want to become a happy guy, it needs energy. Yes or no? You need to build your stamina, mind stamina, nerve stamina. But people remain tired throughout the day. When they reach back home, the spouse opens the door, they have a list of things. I did this, I'm so tired. The spouse is already ready with a longish list and says, I did this, and I'm itna thaka hu, main itni thaki hu, yu thaka hua hu. And then together they play thak. Right. Now speak after me, boliye. My organization, my family, my world wants to meet the fully alive and the well-rested me and not the exhausted me. Because when people feel fantastic in their minds and about their bodies, it is only then that they do fantastic things. But people remain tired, yeah. I call it, somewhere in the middle of our lives, people here, mostly in 30s and 40s here, they have this disease called as Sukh Rog. Everything is right. Everything is right, but still not happy. Still some fungal infections persist. Everything is right. They eat too much. They eat when not they are hungry, but when they are bored. Yeah. अभी देखना लंच पे सब जाएंगे, सीबीएसई के सिलेबस की तरह सारा निपटाएंगे. गुलाब जामुन बोलेगा सैया मैं रह गया. आओ ना. सुख रोग. Comfort zone, or rather man's addiction to comfort can cost you everything, yeah, after 30s and 40s, yes or no? मेरे साथ बोलिए. It's my favorite phrase. If you go to my website, the first thing that you see on my website is this, what I'm going to ask you to speak. बोलिए, an easy life is a wasted life. If I want to become a happy guy, happiness is in self-discipline. And that's it. There's a lady who was 75-year-old in US, married for 40 years, but flair, full of life, very enthusiastic, no kids. Unfortunately, husband passes away, but she dresses very well, smells very well, colors her hair punk. And at 75, she decides to donate her property and go to a nursing home, an old age home in US. Even on the day when she was to go, she was very enthusiastic. While driving her car, she puts on a good music. And she reaches at 8:15 a.m., not 9 when the nursing home starts. She reaches early and knocks at the reception and says, I'm there. And the receptionist is waking up, ma'am, thank you, but will take us 45 minutes to set up your room. By the time we ready your room, can I tell you more about the arrangement of furniture in your room and the rules here? She says, I love it. And she says, I love it with the enthusiasm of a 5-year-old girl as if she's been presented with a puppy. He says, ma'am, how can you love it? I haven't even told you what this stuff around here is like. She says, because I've decided to love it. The greatest superpower that each of us have is that we can choose to be happy ahead of time. The greatest asset that each of us has is we can decide how we want to feel. Happiness is a choice. She says, either I can stay in your nursing home, daily cribbing about the place, cribbing about the food, cribbing about the rules, and also feeling bad about the body parts of mine which do not work, or I can be grateful for the body parts which work. And I've decided to love it. I love it. Happiness is a choice. Negativity comes automatically, but happiness is a blame, complaint, finger pointing, small games come automatically, but happiness is a choose to be happy. And one definite way to feel happy and become a happy guy is to stop judging people around you in the organization and at home. Unfortunately, we're living in a country which has got the highest per capita judgment. We judge everyone. He's that, he's that, he's that. You cannot have inner peace until you give up your war against this world. और ये सब 6 के 6 चीजें जो मैंने बोली हैं, ये नहीं कि मतलब मैं जब इतना पैसा इकट्ठा हो जाएगा तब करेंगे, या नेक्स्ट मंथ से करेंगे, या बर्थडे से करेंगे. A monk, he sends his 6 disciples to fetch him something from across the river. And those 6 disciples just stop pehle river ke. They don't even cross the river. So the monk after 1 hour comes and asks, why didn't you go? He says, we cannot cross till the river stops to flow. So gentlemen and ladies, your entire life might come to an end, but life's responsibilities will never come to an end. You have to do all this amidst the flowing water of rivers. To do all this now. If not now, then when? And if not you, then who? खुशी मिलेगी या नहीं मिलेगी, ये थोड़ा मुकद्दर की बात है. पर अगर हम एफर्ट भी ना मारें, ये गंदी बात है. जिंदगी के मजे लेना सीखो, वरना जिंदगी तुम्हारे मजे ले रही और लेती रहेगी. happy. Don't think I need a reason to be happy. Be genuinely happy. When you go back home after this annual sales conference, give a shock to your family members. You become happy. वो पूछेंगे कि बंगलुरु गए थे कि बैंकॉक गए थे. Right. Thank you very much. I've really enjoyed talking to you. God bless you. Thank you very much. I really spoke my heart out. Brilliant. Very good. Thank you.